An ordinary nature getaway, an innocent campfire under a starry sky. How did Zendaya's tiny spark turn the eyes of the internet to the Redwood forest? Let's take a look at how a single matchstick set off a media firestorm. Nobody expected a low-profile nature retreat in the remote red pine forest to turn into the week's most sensational gossip bomb. But that's precisely what happened when Zendaya, seeking a quiet escape from Hollywood pressure, lit a tiny campfire in a restricted zone and inadvertently turned a tranquil forest into the latest trending scandal across social media. Zendaya arrived in Red Pine Forest hoping to fly under the radar. The lush nature reserve was known for its towering pines, rugged hiking trails, and crisp mountain air, perfect for an anonymous break from red carpets and cameras. She booked a modest eco-cabin, told only one close friend, and expected maybe the occasional curious hiker to recognize her, nothing more. A few local rangers occasionally glimpsed visitors but generally left them be, trusting them to follow the forest's guidelines. The first day, Zendaya explored the trails, wearing a simple hoodie and well-worn hiking boots. She marveled at the sweeping valleys and the hum of distant waterfalls. By late afternoon, she retreated to a secluded clearing near a babbling creek, relishing the sense of solitude. A handful of fellow hikers passed her with polite nods, some suspecting they'd seen a familiar face but unwilling to intrude. No paparazzi, no frenzied fans, just the hush of pines and birdsong. All suggested she'd found the peaceful corner of the world she needed. But Red Pine Forest had been grappling with a mild drought for months, prompting local authorities to impose strict fire bans. Bright orange signs dotted the trailheads, "No open fires, high risk." Zendaya glimpsed one sign in passing, but, used to more relaxed regulations in the forest she'd visited as a child, she didn't dwell on it. That night, in the crisp mountain chill, she felt the tug of nostalgia for roasting a couple of marshmallows under the stars. So she cleared a small ring of stones and lit a modest flame, believing she was being careful enough, just enough heat to toast those sugary treats. An hour later, a park ranger on routine patrol spotted the faint glow through the trees. On closer inspection, he recognized the illegal campfire with a single occupant. Approaching her, he explained the ban in a firm but polite tone. The forest's dryness meant any spark, however small, carried risk. That moment, Zendaya realized her mistake. She hastily doused the flame with water, apologizing. The ranger, calm but resolute, explained that the penalty for lighting a fire during the ban was a citation, a formal written violation that came with a monetary fine and a possible mandated educational session on fire safety. Despite her well-known face, he had a job to do. The law was the law, star or not. She nodded, a little embarrassed, and offered to pay the fine immediately if that were possible. The ranger walked her back toward the main trail to finalize the paperwork. Ironically, at that moment, a pair of local hikers recognized her, overhearing the ranger's admonitions about a fire ban violation. One of them covertly filmed a short clip of the exchange, capturing Zendaya's apologetic expression and the ranger's official stance. Within hours, the video landed on social media, instant fuel for a rumor-laden wildfire of its own. That night, local media channels picked up the snippet with sensational headlines. Zendaya busted for illegal campfire. Stars campfire sparks controversy in Red Pine Forest. The story might have remained relatively small if not for a handful of tabloids that added an exaggerated spin. Zendaya's reckless blaze endangers protected woods was posted on a gossip blog. Another insisted she had argued with the ranger and stormed off in anger. The actual footage, however, showed nothing of the sort, just a polite, if slightly flustered, conversation. But the internet's rumor appetite rarely needed facts. By morning, paparazzi had raced up the winding roads into Red Pine, hoping to catch a follow-up confrontation. Suddenly, a once peaceful forest entrance teemed with cameras, cars, and gawkers. Rangers found themselves fielding calls from national outlets asking if the forest was on the brink of wildfire because Zendaya ignored a ban. Park staff tried clarifying that the flame was tiny, quickly extinguished, and that no actual hazard had arisen. Yet tabloid reporters latched onto the notion of a meltdown, Hollywood star scolded by local ranger, with some claiming she lost her temper. Zendaya, for her part, had retreated to her eco-cabin, determined not to blow the fiasco up further. She contacted her publicist, who recommended a concise statement acknowledging the mishap and urging fans to respect local fire rules. She complied, posting a short social media message. "I deeply respect nature and regret my oversight regarding the campfire rules. Let's all stay safe and mindful." She also praised the Rangers for doing their jobs. But that calm post clashed with the tabloids' thirst for drama. One gossip site declared, "Zendaya's non-apology, is she really owning her dangerous actions?" Another brand of commentary insisted the forest rangers had exploited her fame to enact a bigger penalty than usual. In reality, she'd simply received the standard fine any violator would get. To complicate matters, the park itself had been dealing with budget shortfalls and badly needed publicity. This bizarre scandal inadvertently boosted awareness. Local environmental groups saw a spike in donations, new hikers flocked in to see the spot where Zendaya lit her campfire, and the park store sold out of Protect the Forest t-shirts. The park rangers found themselves bombarded with interview requests from entertainment channels, each wanting the personal scoop on the Hollywood meltdown. The rangers repeated that Zendaya had been very polite, no meltdown to report. But the tabloids spun it anyway, weaving phrases like behind-the-scenes tension or secret outburst. When day 2 of the fiasco dawned, camera crews waited near the parking lot, hoping to corner Zendaya leaving her cabin. She tried to slip off at sunrise for a quiet morning walk, only to find a cluster of reporters trailing her, calling out for comments about the fine. The intrusion shattered her plan for a peaceful nature escape. She turned back after a few minutes, face taut, ignoring repeated shouts of, "Why did you defy the ban?" Paparazzi's cameras flashed, capturing that fleeting expression of frustration. The next wave of headlines insisted she glared at the media, labeling it a meltdown caught on camera despite her silence. A small group of local fans, outraged by the negative coverage, formed a mini protest outside the forest station, brandishing signs reading "Zendaya is innocent" and "Don't twist the truth." The irony was that no real conflict existed, but the rumor-driven mania had inflated the entire matter. Others in the local community quietly welcomed the extra tourism dollars but regretted the scornful global coverage portraying their forest as some celebrity trap. A mild tension brewed between those who liked the newfound attention and those who loathed the media frenzy overshadowing genuine environmental issues. By day 3, the tabloids unleashed a swirl of contradictory stories. Some posted claims that she'd thrown a fit, while others insisted she was calm and contrite. The most sensational blog invented an entire meltdown narrative, describing how she lit multiple fires for aesthetic Instagram pictures. That rumor had zero basis, she'd never posted a single forest photo. But anonymous sources fueled it anyway, probably chasing clicks. Hashtags like #ZendayaCampfireGate erupted on Twitter. People debated whether the star's apology was sincere or if she should do a charitable donation to replant trees. A few comedic memes showed Zendaya toasting marshmallows on a monstrous flame, overshadowing the poor forest ranger scolding her. Meanwhile, Zendaya quietly paid her citation online, just a few $100s, and arranged to leave Red Pine by the next morning. The dreamy forest she'd come to for solace felt hijacked by paparazzi. She confided to a local friend that she'd barely seen the real nature without cameras trailing me. That local friend insisted the fiasco would blow over soon, apologizing on behalf of the community for the chaos. Yet no one could fully shield her from the rumor mill's appetite. Checking her phone, she saw endless mentions of #CampfireFiasco. Jokingly, she texted a friend back home, "I break one rule and it's headline gold." Finally, early on her last day, she rose before dawn to take a final walk up a lesser-known footpath, hoping the paparazzi slept in. This time she succeeded in stepping onto the ridge alone, gazing at the sunrise. She took a deep breath, letting the crisp air remind her why she'd come. Then she descended quietly, hopped in a ranger's jeep that escorted her to a discreet side entrance, and left the forest in a private ride. A small group of fans saw her from afar, waving farewell. She waved back, smiling with relief. The following week, major entertainment outlets pivoted to fresh controversies, but the Zendaya illegal campfire meltdown remained a trending search, overshadowing the local conversation about real wildfire threats. Despite the fiasco's fleeting nature, many who followed the story recognized it as a prime example of how a harmless mistake like lighting a small campfire in a no-fire zone could explode into a tabloid event when the person committing it is a global star. For the park rangers, it was a bizarre highlight. They pinned a short mention in their daily logs about having sighted a very polite Hollywood star, reminding them that the forest's rules indeed apply to everyone, fame notwithstanding. In the end, no one actually got hurt, no forest was burned, no meltdown truly occurred, yet the rumor-laden mania overshadowed all. Nature's calm was intruded upon, paparazzi got their scandal, and Zendaya left with an anecdote she'd likely shake her head at in interviews for years to come. How one tiny flame overshadowed entire days of peaceful redwood groves, becoming the biggest short-lived drama in the entertainment cycle. A small misstep, a watchful ranger, and an unstoppable rumor wave. Just another day in the modern world of celebrity coverage, overshadowing the real quiet wonders she'd come to find in the forest.